New character, Marcus Parker.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
You did, sir.
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects that we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well-trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
You can track available quests from the map. Touchpad button. Map, Floo Flames locations. Hogwarts. Collection chests. 0 out of 35. Field guide pages. 1 out of 1. Defense against the dark arts class. The field guide map shows Professor Hackett's classes in the lower section of the astronomy wing. Charms class. Charms, defense against the dark arts, charms class. Charms class. The field guide map shows Professor Ronan's classes in the astronomy wing. Defense against the dark arts class. The cross button.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Level 1. Circle button. Back, inventory. Quests. All. Attend your first day at Hog. Level, quests. No. Cast Charmed Compass up button. The Charmed Compass will lead you to anything you're tracking. The Charmed Compass up button will lead you to anything you're tracking.
The last time I was at Dorking, Madam Green had everything.
My boy Mike Lennon in the building.
Lumos.
Loom.
Revelio. Revelio.
Is that all you've got?
Levioso! Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Steady your wand with left stick and guide it along the symbol's path to learn the spell. Press the corresponding input when prompted to accelerate your wand's motion along the symbol's path.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with a basic cast.
Perform a basic cast using R2 button.
See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast.
Break through yellow shields with control spells like the levitation spell, Levioso.
Now, the basic cast. Well done. Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This should be easy. Protego. Okay.
Levioso.
This can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
I do enjoy a lively duel.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I whooped that boy's ass.
Rose to the challenge. Points to Gryffindor.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right. That's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
Huh. Always thought Levioso was for first years. Not anymore.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've had my share of wand combat.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned
Yeah, I'm a bad
dueling
boy, cuz.
organization.
You don't want none of
Sounds
this.
intriguing.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck, or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I've most
Luma.
included.
Revelio. Revelio.
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him to finish the lesson. And terrifying.
Some of us don't necessarily want him to get back to the lesson.
Yourself about that. If I were you, I'd be more inclined to acquire.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student.
Natty with the fatty.
Professor Ronan, eh?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms?
Natty probably holding
Anyone?
the book.
Anyone? Hmm? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, It seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Steady your wand with left stick and guide it along the symbol's path to learn the spell. Press the corresponding input when prompted to accelerate your wand's motion along the symbol's path.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well,
bad boy.
To have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day. I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me.
The graphics are beyond belief.
Goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would
Fantastical.
agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off?
The summoning charm, Accio, pulls a target closer to the caster. Hold R2 button and press the assigned button to cast Accio and pull a target closer. Release R2 button to cease casting the spell.
Splendid! Excellent control there. Very good. Points to Gryffindor. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Stay focused. Let us do this. That is how it's done. Do not be dismissive. Phew.
Not to worry. Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Here we go! There we go.
Happens to the best of us.
Let us see this. That is how it's done.
That's it!
Watch this. Nicely done.
Very good, both of
I
you.
let her
Well
win
done.
because she was a girl.
Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Well done back there. You took the loss in stride. Didn't want to go too easy on you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
I'm glad you understand.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Nice to meet you. How big is Uagadu? What does Uagadu look like? Is magic?
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
That's incredible. Surely the magic is weaker.
Spells cast without a wand must be less powerful than those cast with a wand.
No, not at all. Wizarding magic cast without a wand is just as powerful. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
Thank you for telling me. How big is Uagadu? What does Uagadu look like?
Is Wagadu a castle, like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
Thank you for telling me about Uagadu.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course. You
A
can
word,
use
if you would.
humans, if you're so inclined.
Well, you'd be using it on...
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did.
No, it won't work on
I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? Miss Onai is a talented witch. Take it in stride. One often gains the most from the battles one has.
Of course, Professor. It was a challenging match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Map, Flue Flames locations. Hogwarts. Collection chests. 0 out of 30. The Bell Tower Wing. The Bell Tower Wing of Hogwarts, South Hogwarts region. Enemy level 1. Hogwarts grounds. Flue Flames locations. The Astronomy Wing.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Hello, you wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
That's kind of you to say.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
Map, Flue Flames location, Weasley after class. Triangle button.
Revelio.
Yuri skeleton. Guide pages.
Revelio.
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit before you arrived. I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Hasn't Professor Fig said? No, Professor.
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan mentioned that.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
I'm ready to go. What more can you tell me about the potions shop? What's a spell? So there really is an Ollivander's here? What's a spellcraft? What more can you tell me about the potions shop?
Can you tell me more about the potions shop, Professor?
J. Pippin's Potions stocks a wide array of potions ingredients.